Welcome to episode 2 of the Communication Error Podcast. This is the community patch notes episode of digital versus physical gaming. I'm your host, John Ebo, and I'm here with Cheesy. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Before we get started, I have
Oh
to talk about
God.
something that happened over the weekend.
We don't have to talk about it.
We have to talk about it because
We
it
don't have
allows people to understand how much better I am at video games than you.
Oh my God. That is so not true.
So, if you don't know what happened over the weekend, there was a Splatfest in Splatoon, which, if you don't know what a Splatfest is, it's like you choose, there's 3 teams you could choose, and then you battle over a 48-hour period to try to be the best team. This weekend was a special edition Legend of Zelda weekend. It was the Triforce, Power, Courage, and Wisdom. And Power won. And I wanted to surprise Cheesy with a shirt today. I don't think he knew that I even bought these shirts. But I have.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm wearing the Power shirt because that's the team that I chose. And that's the team that won.
Okay. Yeah, but you only chose the team because you knew that it was winning at half.
No, well, how did I know it
That's
was
what you-
winning? I bought
that's
the
what you-
shirt. I bought the shirt. It took a week
Did
to
you-
get here.
You bought all of them.
I bought 2 of them.
Which 2 did you buy?
I bought the Ganondorf one, so the Power and the Courage. So I bought Courage.
Okay.
But the only reason I bought Courage is because I didn't want to spend on shipping. I knew
okay,
I was
so
going
you
to
just
choose
bought-
Power. I knew I was going to choose Power because Ganondorf is like one of my favorite characters. I think he's really awesome. So I wanted to choose Power.
You know, I did see someone say that like this was a really good ad, and of course Power won because Ganondorf is like the main character of Tears of the Kingdom, or not main character, but like a character that they definitely are bringing back in a big way. And like, I kind of see their point, but I also feel like you could just make that argument with any of the teams if they won, because that's what it was. It was just an ad
I
for
was
Tears of the Kingdom.
I was worried that Power wouldn't win because Ganondorf is the bad guy, right? And why would they want the bad guy team to win?
Well, so, and one of the reasons I didn't choose Ganondorf was because he was like a meme, right? Because he was so sexy in those like new
Daddy
Nintendo
Dwarf.
posts.
What, Daddy,
Yeah, exactly.
Daddy Dwarf?
Yeah, Daddy Orf.
Daddy Dwarf. Yeah.
And I decided I didn't want to choose him because I figured he would be like the most popular vote, which he was.
He was, yeah.
And I thought you would be playing a lot of mirror matches. So it's always kind of tough because when you're like trying to choose a team, you also don't want to choose a team that has the most
All right,
votes because
I have to bring something up though.
okay.
What's your record?
I don't know why.
Why should anybody take your advice? What's
my
your
God.
record?
It's 0-7. I'm doing worse than Fry. No,
I'm
I
pretty
don't-
sure
it's
I've
been-
lost. Well, I mean, I've chosen the team that has won. I think I've only lost 1, maybe 2 times.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is incredibly frustrating because it's different than Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2 because it was just 2 teams that you could pick from, which was a 50-50 chance. And now it's like a 33% chance that you win. And
You're not good. You're not good at those odds.
I'm not. I guess I'm not. But like it's also kind of fun because it's kind of like the Rocky story. You know, I get my own Rocky story of like I'm the underdog and I'm losing, but eventually I'll get my win and everybody will celebrate with me. And so like I'm ready for it. You know, if I keep losing, that sucks. But at the same time, the story continues. Anyway, what is this? What are we doing?
No. But
What's the-
I'm the introducer today, so you have to explain what this
All right,
is.
so Community Patch Notes is a community-driven episode for Communication Error, and we're talking about physical versus digital gaming, which was the topic last week. I think we both just want to say thank you so much for the outpouring support that we got for just one episode.
Yeah,
And
it's-
across all of our socials, we got some reviews, 5-star reviews, and it was amazing, honestly, to like just see how many people were supporting us throughout the week. So thank you so much. And this episode is for you.
Yeah, I was surprised by the feedback that we got and the amount of people that have participated and listened already. It's only, it was only one episode really. It's been a
Yeah.
week. We've been doing this for a week, and I was not anticipating. I was worried that nobody would listen. That maybe just me and my mom, which I don't know. I didn't get my mom's opinions yet, so I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
She probably just kept you on red. She's like, "Oh, Johnny, I don't have the time." Um, but yeah, and we also got some feedback as to how to make the show better and or things that you would like to see. So it's things that we're kind of tossing around those ideas, and maybe they'll be in the show.
Yeah, and also there were some ideas for what else we can add. I do believe I didn't talk to Cheesy really about this, but I think we're gonna set up a Discord server
Oh yeah,
in the near future. So at least I think at least two people have asked for that. So be on the lookout.
yeah, we'll do Discord. We've been talking about a Patreon as well, and it's all like I was thinking, like, do we bring up these updates during community patch notes episodes or during like our
I mean, it takes
communication
like less than a minute to
talk about them?
So
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. All right. Well, so this episode is for you. Thank you. These are some of the things that the community had to say about physical versus gaming. But before we get there, we got some 5-star reviews. And we got one from Shy Guy that says, unbeatably good. Two good friends engaging in fun and intelligent gaming debates while involving their audience. What's not to like? Highly recommended. Thank you so much, Shy Guy.
I have two notes.
Okay. You have notes on a review?
On a review, yeah.
Okay.
It says good friends. That's a stretch.
True.
And intelligent gaming debates. I don't know how long you're gonna think that it's intelligent, but thank you anyway.
Yeah. I made that same exact note when I was reading it. Because I was like, I don't know if people know me and how I speak. I feel like I speak in circles, but I get the point across, But yeah, intelligent, I guess we'll take the compliment, right? Because we probably won't get that very often. So we should just say thank you.
Yeah, we got to get them early before the trolls find us.
We also had one from Ask What Not Why. Love the premise. I can't wait to see where you two take this and see you evolve as you go. I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so thanks for the reviews. They help tremendously, especially on Apple. So if you're listening on Apple right now, make sure you leave a 5-star review. You could write one or just leave 5 stars. That would be helpful. I believe we have 4 right now, and we are 5-star right now.
Yeah. We are a 5-star podcast with one episode. Like that is
one episode. That's pretty good.
That's a win. Before we go on, we should probably say where people can find us. Johnny, where can people find you?
I'm Johnny Bo everywhere. Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and here.
Yeah. I am on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, pretty much everywhere that John Ebo is, but better. CheezyC64, CheeEezyC 64. You can also find us on the Nintendo Powercast.
Oh yeah, I forgot to shout that out. But yeah, listen to the Nintendo Powercast.
Yeah, we're number 2 if you look up Nintendo on Apple. So that's pretty cool. We're right behind MVC.
Yeah.
And then Communication Error you can find at Com Error Podcast on all the socials, basically. I don't think we left one out. So everywhere. I mean, MySpace.
I think everywhere. Yeah,
we
MySpace?
left out MySpace. But if you want it, we could probably make that happen. Speaking of YouTube, we had a comment from Seth aka $2 Hero. You might know from the Nintendo Drive Powercast or Nintendo Drive podcast. Also, just their own YouTube and just overall content creator, said opening with an actual communication error. Nice. I wanted to add that because that was not even planned. We both had no idea how to start the episode, and we interrupted each other.
Yeah, well,
I
when we did like the pre-show episode,
yeah
you did one thing, and then on the second
yeah
one, you decided to change it up. So that was on you. That was totally on you.
it was on me. It was on me. But the fact that we had a communication error in the first episode without even like planning it,
When life imitates art, right? Like that's the
it's
saying.
true. Jeff Troyvania, who's on the Jeff Troyvania podcast and has their own YouTube account, so go follow them there. I have a lot to say about this, so I'm sorry ahead of time for the long comment. I went 100% digital on my Xbox back in 2015 when Fallout 4 came out. It was a first big title that I pre-ordered digitally instead of buying the physical disc. I knew that I was going to miss out on the perks of having the disc. Bethesda includes cool maps and other stuff in the case, but being able to install it ahead of release and play it right at midnight was something that I was really interested in. After that, I made the choice to never buy an Xbox disc again, and I haven't looked back. Xbox has also made it pretty easy for me to go all digital, given the fact that compatibility goes as far as the original Xbox for the most part. I feel confident that each new console I buy will be able to play old games, and I won't have to worry about that. When the Switch released, I got a couple of physical games as gifts, and when they announced the closing of the Wii U, and 3DS eShops, I started buying physical games, concerned that the same thing would happen to the Switch. Nintendo has made some announcements that show their goal is to have the new Nintendo accounts and NSO be compatible across all upcoming systems, so I feel less afraid that I will lose out on being able to play games. I bought digitally, and I've now made it a point to only buy digital games on Switch going forward. I I think I'm fully aware, where people are on this topic, and like I did learn that there are more people that are going digital these days
I
than
don't know.
physical, even in the gaming space. Like we talked about it last week. We're in a digital age, but when it came to gaming, I guess I wasn't as aware of like where we're at when it comes to digital games.
So what's interesting about that? I put a poll on my personal YouTube
Okay.
channel, and it was, do you prefer digital or physical gaming?
Uh-huh.
And the last I checked, it has like close to 800 votes, and it's 75% physical.
Really?
Yeah.
So we still don't really
We
have like a
still don't
clear
know.
answer.
I thought there was a stat out there that it's around 50-50. Or there was maybe something about through the holiday season that more people purchased digital games, like 51% as opposed to 49% for physical or something like that. But I think
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't done any research. I have nothing to back this up, but I think it's 50-50. But
The
I mean,
John Evo research.
yeah, I completely see where Jeff is coming from on this, because I was the same way. I probably went fully digital back when probably around the same time that he did with
Hmm.
Xbox in 2015, and I haven't looked back since. Even the closures of the eShops, I didn't really care. I'm
Yeah,
not playing those.
you've made
I'm
that
not.
very clear.
Yeah, I'm not playing those games anymore anyway. So like, I mean, I get it. People, I get it. Game preservation, and you know, those keywords that everybody that doesn't have their own thoughts use. So
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, I think games preservation is like it's even hard for me to say, but like from a historic standpoint, you don't find that important?
no,
Why?
I don't. Why? So
Okay,
Okay.
let's take Breath of the Wild for example. Say
Yes.
that game is just lost forever. Your favorite game, the one physical game that you have for Switch, it's just gone one day.
I
You're
mean
not
that
gonna
would.
care.
I mean that would it would suck. Yeah, but when you think about it, think of other notable games, right? Super Mario Bros.
Hmm.
That will never go away.
You
The
can't say
Legend of
never.
Zelda will never go away. It won't go away. Either I'll be dead by the time it goes away, or like the apocalypse happens, because Nintendo loves selling the same games to us over and over again. Breath of the Wild will never go away. The games that will go away for good are like Pushmo, which I have a feeling that they're probably going to bring it back. They'll probably have Pushmo on the Switch 2, or they'll have what else? Dylan's Rolling Western, games like that. They'll bring those onto the next console. Like I don't think, I just don't see. I don't know a game that went away that I care about.
So it's like the way that you're talking is it's like the Disney Vault. Like they'll well now that doesn't even really exist because we have Disney Plus, and most of their previous work is on Disney Plus. But like they used to have the Disney Vault where their movies would go away for a certain amount of time and then they would come back. They were like the nacho fries, and nacho fries are back right now. I think I'm just hungry. But
I
that's what you're saying is like Nintendo is just kind of doing their own vault and the games don't really go away because they're just going to bring back those properties in a new updated way.
Probably, yeah. They're they're notable games. Like I mean, we just saw it with Metroid Prime.
But it okay. This I think this is like a whole different conversation that we could get into.
Okay, we'll write it down. Game
All right.
preservation will be another topic for another
Yeah.
day. We want to get
Some
back to
point.
these comments. We can't rehash what we talked about last week.
True, true. Do you want to read the next one or you want me to?
I can read it. So this
All
one's
right.
from the name's Jer.
Mm-hmm.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
And if you don't know, we got a new profile pic, and Jer made it for us. So thank you very much. It
Yeah,
looks
and it's
awesome.
very much us.
It is us. It's I showed it to my partner, and she thought it was very clever. So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've got a lot of good feedback on it.
So they say, I can definitely get where someone is coming from by preferring digital, especially the convenience, but I just prefer physical. There are a lot of reasons I like physical copies: the nostalgia factor, the tangible copy I can hold and see, and being able to display it on my shelf with my Switch collection. But the main reason I like physical is for the preservation.
The word we were just talking about.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. Unfortunately, with the state of gaming right now, releasing unfinished, buggy messes that require updates post launch is the norm. And on top of that, of companies simply putting the whole game or even any of it on the physical copy, which kind of negates the whole purpose. Thankfully, Nintendo usually releases physical copies that are fully playable off their cartridges, so they're about the only ones I still buy physical copies for. See, this is an interesting thing that I forgot about when we were talking about it last week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How games do nowadays they need patches. So if the stores were ever to go away, which I think we actually saw it with Xenoblade Chronicles X, where
Yeah.
where you can't download the patch.
Yeah.
Like that's like what happens, when the PlayStation 4 store goes away and all those games that have patches, like do they revert back to their day one state? Or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. It's like you said, they would just have to update the game, like just remaster it and sell it again with just the way that they had it before. right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer would be.
Well, now that we're, I think, in more of a digital era, I
Mhm.
hope that moving forward, we won't have to deal with closures of digital marketplaces, because now these companies have digital libraries and they want people in their ecosystem, and I hope that they don't just decide, hey, we're going to shut it down, because hopefully it's just going to be a one store from now on. It's not like the PlayStation 4 store and PlayStation 5 store. Like, hope it's just one store.
Yeah. I was just thinking, and this is kind of a extreme example, but like I guess another reason I could see digital being bad is just like if they had an outage for a couple of days and you weren't able to like purchase the games that you needed to play. Maybe they're all like their accounts are down, so you can't even download a patch. Um, like that's
That has
something that
actually
could
happened.
happen. It's not very likely, right? But it could happen.
There were times where people could not play games because the store was down, or the online was down.
Yeah, and that's a bummer.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a game to play, but you can't even play that game at that time, then what's the point of your system?
Yeah, like, I mean, we have multiple Switches, and I don't know if you've ever used a Switch that isn't your primary Switch.
It like will ask. It
Yeah,
like will check. Yeah,
so
yeah.
you have to check every time. You have to check the internet every time if you want to play a game.
Hmm.
But that's only if it's a secondary Switch. If it's the main Switch, it's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess you get into, if you are a household with kids or siblings or whatever, like you do run into that problem.
Yeah.
Like for us,
Well, I
we
mean, you
don't
have multiple
know what
accounts.
that.
I guess
Yeah,
you would need, each would need like a Nintendo Switch Online account. You would need like family plan. As long as that account's main Switch is that Switch, it doesn't check online.
yeah,
But
yeah. I get you. Um, Joel Hoffman said Johnny said to yell. Yeah, you said like for people to yell at us for comments or something. So
yeah,
this
well,
is
yeah. I
what.
told people to yell at us, not like actually yell, but I mean like, I don't know, tell me that we're wrong.
It says physical is better. You can get collector's editions. You can buy used and save $16 every time. You can sell your games when you're done with them. You can lend/borrow them, as Cheesy said. And it's more fun buying a physical game. This was a fun and great idea. I would like to see you each get 3 to 5 minutes to make an uninterrupted case for your argument, and then you have 3 to 5 minutes to demolish each other's take. Could be fun as a segment on NPC2.
Yeah, I like that second idea for sure.
Yeah,
And
I do too.
I think we will implement that, like kind of like opening statements and closing statements that
Yeah.
lawyers have and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that idea. All right, so he said you could get collector's edition. A lot of collector's editions now do not include a physical copy. Well, for
Yeah.
if we're talking, Nintendo always does for now. So, like, if you get the Tears of the Kingdom collector's edition, you get Tears of the Kingdom game with it, and I think it's the actual cart. It's not a download code, but a lot of PlayStation, like I bought the God of War Ragnarok special edition, collector's edition. It had a download code, not a disc.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of collector's editions do digital codes and not disc.
Does that like diminish the collector's edition for you?
No,
Because I mean, you're
because
still getting the game, but like, I don't know. I feel like a collector's edition would be having it physically, like what we talked
well,
about.
you get a steel book. You get an empty steel book.
Yeah, with nothing in it.
I got these little guys.
What
So
guys?
it's
Oh yeah, little figurines.
little
It's cool.
figurines. So that's what I
Yeah.
buy. That's what I buy it for. I don't buy it for the game. I buy it for the items
That are,
with the game.
yeah.
Like I got Thor's hammer with that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a cool set.
I'm not fully against physical items, right? clearly,
Right.
clearly
Yeah.
behind it.
If you're watching the video, it's a museum of amiibo and Lego and whatever else.
Yeah, I clearly am not against physical items, but they have to be like display pieces. We talked about this on the episode where I don't like. Well, I don't like how games just face. I don't know what the title out. I don't even know what it's called. The binder out.
Yeah, the binder.
Yeah, I don't like because it doesn't.
The spine, I
the
guess.
spine.
The
Yeah, let's go with the spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like games when they just have the spine out. Like I don't think that looks good, especially if you have a ton of them. It definitely doesn't look good. Like it's just like a wall of nonsense.
Just the same color over and
Yeah,
over again.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, like-
I get it. Like I'm glad that we had this conversation because like I do see the points that people are making. I see the point that you were making. I don't like them because I still just want to buy things physically, and I still will until they tell me that's not a thing anymore. And then I'll be like, okay. Like it probably won't bother me as much as I thought it would after our discussion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will buy collector's editions. I will buy collector's editions, but I will try to buy the collector's editions that don't have a physical copy. And the reason they did it for God of War and probably all of the PlayStation ones is because they have a digital only PlayStation 5. So
Right. Yeah.
they should have an option where you don't get a disc.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I got the Monster Hunter Sunbreak Collector's Edition, which is a DLC, but
Okay.
it has a steelbook and it's only a steelbook.
That's
Like,
all it came with.
There's
is
no
just a
cart in
steelbook?
there. Yeah, there's no cart.
Yeah.
Like it came with the amiibo and it came with the steelbook. So I like display pieces, like items, but I don't know. I don't know what it is with game cases. I mean, I feel the same way with DVD cases and CDs. Like they're a thing of the past. They're like old relics. When you like hundreds of years from now, after the apocalypse, and you know whoever remains comes by like all our demolished houses, and they're gonna be like, Blink 182 CD. What is this? This is stupid.
Oh man, that was harsh. You're probably, I mean, you're not wrong, but like, I also don't want to live in that time, you know? Like,
We'll be dead because that's the apocalypse.
I guess that's true. Do you want to read what we got on Twitter? Those were our comments on YouTube.
Yeah, so subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave us a like. I've been posting shorts, trying to post shorts like every day. So if you can support us in any way, we're just trying to grow. That'd be great. But yeah, we got Twitter. Oh, you gave me this one because I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, I was meaning to like reach out to them. I think it is is Givey, but if we mess that up, sorry, that's John Ebo's fault.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name, but you've been listening to us on Powercast and been supporting us through this, so thank you. So they say, great first episode. Glad you both came to the conclusion that they both have their own pros and cons. The big pro of physical seems to be sharing games, but that can be done digitally as well. I don't know how to do that. My nephew, who doesn't live with me, has my Xbox and Nintendo accounts as their home, so whatever digital game I purchase, he's able to play them as well. Sure, I can't loan these games out to other people, but I am already sharing a massive collection with a whole different household, and they can do the same for another, which pushes more sharing. And my stepson has me on his Steam family sharing thing, so he's sharing games with me. I personally think the only real pro of physical games at this point is collectability, more so as games release unfinished, and with unfinished games being slowly a norm, I have a question for Cheesy. Well, this one's for you. When a known
Okay.
series that usually gets DLC or gets complete edition, or it's already known it will get DLC, do you wait for those finished games to come out or buy physically the base game and digitally DLC?
Hmm. No, that's a good point. Like I will just buy the DLC. I'm not gonna wait for
Well,
like the whole game to be finished, which that's a weird. I don't even like saying that because the game is finished. They're just adding content to an already finished game, right?
I'm
Because
not
what
sure if he's I'm not sure if that's what he mean what they mean. Maybe I'm wrong, but well, I guess because people think Animal Crossing's unfinished, or they thought it was unfinished, and they were thinking DLC would finish it. But
mhm.
what I read that as is like broken games. Maybe you read it the correct way.
Hmm. Yeah, because the way that I'm reading it is like, you know how after a game gets its DLC, sometimes it will get re-released again with the DLC included.
Yeah.
I think that is their question. Maybe. I don't know. But like, yeah, I'll buy the DLC and like I'm not gonna wait for like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, for example. I didn't wait for those two waves to like come out and then buy the game. I was playing the game and I was already just excited to play the DLC. So like, yeah, there's a benefit to, I guess, going digital in that sense.
We didn't know about Breath of the Wild getting DLC though.
No, that was amazing. That was during the Game Awards.
Yeah, that was like a full. It was like 6 or 7 months later, right? We found out.
Yeah, and then it was split up into like two sections. So like the first part of it was like things that you could collect in the game from previous Zelda games. Like you could collect different items and whatnot. And then I think it was later next year, that following year, was the Champions Ballad, which was like a whole new story driven DLC.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, I don't buy physical games, but I'm not patient enough to wait because even digitally, they whenever they release the complete edition, they have a digital version of the complete edition that is with the DLC and the discounted price
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of $80 or like $60 instead of buying the game for 60 and then the DLC for 20.
Yeah. Moving on to Tyler Keeble. I believe physical is better for preservation and longevity. Case in point, look no further than the eShop shutting down. One flick of a switch and poof, those games are gone forever. I can also let people borrow a physical game. Physical games can also increase in value. We talked a lot about this last week, and I mean, I agree that you can let people borrow games, but in Johnny's case, he doesn't have friends to let people borrow his games. We talked about that. He admitted
There's a
that.
loser.
That was big of him. Um, I don't know, man. Like
Well,
I
so to the previous comment, they said
yeah.
that they can let people. You would so. I get honestly, I get this question a lot online, and it's starting to. It's a little weird. They ask me for my login information.
They ask you for your login
Yeah,
information
so if
for
for your Nintendo account. So if you have, if I have your Nintendo account, I could play the games
yeah.
on your Nintendo account. So that is a way of sharing. You would just have to give it to somebody that you trust, really, so
Right.
that they're not buying games all the time. They're not like hacking your information somehow. But yeah, if it's like a family member or a close friend, I don't see
Yeah.
a problem with doing that. It's definitely
They
not as easy or convenient as a physical game.
yeah. Yeah.
Remember? Do you
So
remember
the
the
people that ask you for your account,
yeah?
could they go in and like delete all your games and like delete your
I don't
save
think so.
files? Oh, okay.
I don't think so because well, the save files are tied to the Switch. They're tied to the system. So
Okay.
even if they delete all the cloud saves, which I don't know if they could, but even if they delete all the cloud saves, I would still have the saves on the system itself.
Yeah, yeah.
And like I would still have the re-download option of all the games that I purchased. So it won't. I would really just be afraid of them stealing all my or like using my credit card.
Right. Yeah. I might ask you for your account later and just see what games you have. Not in a malicious way or anything. Like, I'm not gonna just get your credit card information. I
I
just
don't
want to see
know. I
what
don't.
games.
I'm a little. Is this real? I'm confused.
Yeah, no, I'll ask for your account later. What were you gonna say though? You said remember.
Oh, remember back when the Xbox One was revealed,
Okay.
there was like some whole weird DRM stuff, and there was this backwards way of being able to lend people your games, and then PlayStation released the video that saying how you could let people play your games on the PlayStation 4, and they're just like it's just like the president of Sony handing some other guy the game. You don't remember these videos?
No, no, we'll have to post that though.
Yeah, yeah. So that was like that was huge. That was huge back when they revealed the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 because the whole DRM issue and always online and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, there's the one commercial is like the president of PlayStation handing a game. It's like 30 seconds long. It's like super short.
That's
It's
funny.
like here's how you share games on your PlayStation. And he just hands them the game.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to post that.
There's also
Um,
the comment about physical games can also increase in value.
what?
Like
What?
one out of, I would say 1 out of 100 games would increase in value. Most of them are decreasing in value. Like no, so honestly, no game on the Nintendo Switch will increase in value. They've overproduced them. Like Breath of Wild will never be more than $60. It will probably always be $60. Or they retain their value, but I don't think it will be more.
What about like a collector's edition? If it's just
I
like
mean,
a
yeah,
unboxed.
yeah, but you have to you would just sit on it, so then you just become a scalper.
Oh, because you would have to like
Because it would have to be
sell it at a high.
unopened. Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, like, so I don't actually know how games go up in value. Just I guess over time if they're hard to find. But like I'm sure there's other reasons, maybe like legacy
I
of
don't
the
know.
IP. No.
No, no. I mean, the ones that have gone up in value are like Fire Emblem from GameCube because it was so rare and uncommon, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
probably some of the Fire Emblems like the 3DS Fire Emblem I think might. But yeah, the main Nintendo games, GameCube games right now are pretty expensive to buy. Like you still have to pay $50 or $60 to get Sunshine.
Mm. Which
But
like I'm kind of surprised that it's not more than that, if I'm being honest. Like Sunshine, I know you don't like it. I don't think that it is it's a broken game, but I still enjoy it for what it is. And it's just so odd and weird. It's one of those Mario games that is, I hate to say it, but it is kind of a Dark Souls Mario game because the controls are so broken and he's so slippery, and it's it's just one of those games that I think would be at a higher price value.
yeah, but I don't think that's how it works. Just because the
No, I'm
game's
just
good
that's
doesn't mean that it's worth
Right.
more. You know what I mean?
But remember, we're an intelligent podcast.
All
So
right,
we gotta look
let's talk
smart. Even
about
if
economics 101. There's supply and demand.
okay. Oh, I don't have my notebook. I was gonna take some notes.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I think it has a lot to do with, the supply and demand, honestly. So
yeah.
Sunshine, might have sold, I don't even know how many copies. 10 million
3.
copies, let's say.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of copies that are like just in the world, in the wild.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be hard to find a copy. But if, Earthbound's a big one that is worth a lot of money, complete in box,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's not a big, what do they call it?
Like not a big market for them. Not
Not
it's like
market, like supply. I don't know. It's called something. It's not supply, but essentially supply. Like
yeah,
there's
let us
not
know
many
in the
out there.
comments. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're learning new words. We're learning things.
Well,
Hopefully you
I
are
started
too.
watching. The oh god, it's King of Collectibles. It's on Netflix, and
Oh, okay.
they were selling a Jackie Robinson jersey, trying to sell for $10 million. That's so much money. But but they're gonna do a Pokemon episode, a Pokemon card episode, and Charizard first edition base set Shadowless is worth like $1 million because there's such a small pool. I think it's called a pool. There's such a small amount of them in the world that
Mhm.
that just hikes up the price. But Sunshine overproduced, and anything in the Switch era, like Breath of the Wild sold 30 million copies. Odyssey sold 25 million copies.
Yeah. Mario Kart 8 is going to be hard to find though, because nobody has bought that game.
We're gonna get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe plus Knuckles on the Switch too.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot more comments to get through.
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll
So
go. We'll go.
uh, you go
Okay,
for
it's
it.
me. So this is CGN Matt from Crashing Game Night Podcast. You should check it out. We are actually on an episode of Crashing Game
Yeah, it
Night
was a lot of fun.
Podcast. It was a lot of
It was a good
fun.
time.
Yeah, so check out that podcast as well. It says to John Ebo's point, my kids lose the cartridges at times, so trying to hunt one down is a nightmare. I'm glad I have digital copies on my system. Now I do own Metroid Prime digital and physical because it deserves all of the support. I agree. Buy that game like 6 times just so Metroid Prime doesn't die or Metroid
Yeah.
doesn't die. All right, so I was thinking about this. Have you ever lost a game?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you still buy physical copies?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So like, yeah, I was pretty bummed because in college I brought like my N64 up with me and played with my roommates. And for some reason, I cannot find Mario Party 3. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if the roommate took it. It's gone. And that's one of those games that I wish I had in my collection because I have Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2, and now 3 is gone from the N64 era.
And they'll never put it on the NSO for some reason.
They they will, right? It wasn't that in the sizzle reel, or
It
was
was
it not?
announced. Yeah, they just haven't. I think they haven't released it yet. But I'm pretty sure
This
it was announced.
this month. I actually don't know what they're gonna do for this month because obviously Tears of the Kingdom is going to
Is there a
be.
Zelda game on GBA that they haven't released?
I
Oh, the
mean,
Oracle
the
games.
the
They can bring the
Oracle
Oracle
games.
games. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not GBA.
yeah.
That's just GameCube. Uh, yeah. So I lost. I mean, I probably lost more than this, but I definitely lost Pokemon Yellow when I was very young. 9, 10, and I remember
Mhm.
I was so upset, and I just didn't want that to happen again. Now, back then I didn't know. Well, the internet wasn't really a thing, and digital games didn't exist. But I just remember hating it. That
Oh, you like.
losing the cartridge.
Oh, that part you hated. I thought you were like distancing yourself away from like Pokemon for the time being
No,
because
no,
you
no,
were
no, no.
so upset.
No,
Gotcha.
it is.
Yeah,
It does suck though. Like when you lose something like that, and
yeah. I will say though, there was a time where and maybe this was like my mom's fear, but she would take a Sharpie to my games and write like whose games they were. So like, because we were probably trading around games between different friends, and she was buying the game, so it probably made sense that she's like, I don't want this to go missing. It's his. It was also expensive, and I just want people to know that this is his game, but
So
at the same time, there's Sharpie on some of my games. It's
so
a
I
good
mean
reminder, but also
that's
like
not uncommon though. Like I've seen where it says like, little Johnny's game or something
yeah,
on a cart. That
yeah,
that made me think of a comment that I got on my video that I made on my personal channel. Timeline Gaming, he had mentioned that he misses the days where you would buy a Nintendo DS game or a GBA game and there would be save files on there.
yeah,
Especially for Pokemon, where like
yeah.
you get to see what kind of Pokemon the previous owner had, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was pretty cool. But now everything's tied to the consoles, and that will never happen again.
God, that's so like I kind of forgot about that, but it's like peeking into this person's life, or seeing like, because they also would probably like nickname their Pokemon. So you get to see like what they were naming
But
them. Maybe they were tied to, yeah, it was butt or or I don't know. But like it's just cool to see somebody else play a game, and you kind of get to like live through that memory, I guess. Even if you didn't know them. It's like you kind of are meeting them through their progress.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
deep. We get deep on this podcast.
Yeah. Totally forgot
I
about
think
that.
last episode I said that we don't really own anything. We're just renting it now. Now
Yeah.
we're living vicariously through previous save files.
Well, we used to, but now we don't even do that anymore. We don't even care to like live through other people. We're just so
You're bumming
like
me out, man. You're bumming me
into
out.
ourselves. I'm just saying. What you're bumming me out. We started this podcast with the apocalypse happening and everybody's dead. I'm bumming you out?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Clockworth Clone. I should also mention that these comments, we might have already talked about exactly what we've already said in this episode.
Whatever.
But yeah. Clockworth Clone said, I enjoyed the first episode of Communication Error Podcast. Thank you. Looking forward to the next ones. I think if you get joy from looking at the cases, then going physical is a no-brainer. If not, then digital is immediately the more convenient option. There is, maybe we kind of touched on
You
it.
didn't
in,
finish
like,
this comment, or did you want to?
Oh, yep. I did not finish. You're right. I do fear the leverage that companies hope to gain from an all digital future, but as it exists now, I think it is fine. This is why I'm mostly physical with the Switch releases I really care about, but mostly digital on PS5 and Xbox Series X. I don't get the same joy from those games on my shelf.
I want to add some context.
Okay.
Because I've talked to Clockworth Clone, and
About this?
yeah.
You
About
like?
this.
Did you reach out to him?
No.
Oh.
There was more after this comment. There was a little bit more. So apparently, he has like 12 games, 12 physical games, like on display. But then the rest,
I saw
the
this.
rest
Yeah.
are in his closet. So take that for what it's worth.
The way that they were displayed too, and this is all just
I think he did that. I think that he just took that picture.
for fun, or like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's not serious.
I don't think so.
Well, I guess
We'll
we'll
have
have
to
to ask him. No disrespect, but we are very curious. For those that are wondering what the picture was, it was just, I mean, it's the way that Johnny would like them. The cases
Yeah.
showing the front and the artwork, but it was like laid out on a table. I don't
Yeah, I
know
think
how to
that. I
explain
don't
it.
think that's how he actually has them, but now I need to know.
You're right, because
So
maybe it
Mitchell, if
is.
you're, I mean, Clockwork Cone, if you're listening to this, please tell us. Is that how you just have them on your table?
Just all like kind of stacked together, but just it was like an open faced sandwich, is what I was looking at.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah,
dynamic.
and like if that's your thing, that's very unique, and you should just own it. Because I don't think anybody else is doing that. But maybe it's a new trend. I would say also with this comment, because it's something that like I think I may have talked about last week. There is some kind of joy that you get from certain games and just seeing that the case. And I know like for you, you don't get it because you just don't want to see the case anyway.
You don't get it.
You don't get it, man, and you never will. Uh yeah, something about like the IP that is special to you. It it's like you're bringing home a friend. You know, like let's just like it's Toy Story. You know, you have a connection to this thing, and you get to like look at it because it's physically there.
So
It's
what do
not
you do with
just
it? Oh, I just look at it.
no, man. I take it to the movies. I'll put it in the car, make sure that its seatbelt is buckled, and sometimes we have a picnic. You don't know what I do with my games.
I need pictures now.
I okay, fine. You think I'm lying? I'll show you. Um, next comment, Johnny.
All right, so Crux57 says one terrible thing about digital I just discovered is the difficulty of moving your SD card from your old Switch to the new one. Do I have to buy another SD card? So, I know this pain very well. This is the one thing that annoys me about the Nintendo Switch, which I understand it's for like anti-piracy stuff, but you can't just move one SD card with all your games that you already downloaded to another Switch. Like I just got, I just got the Zelda Switch. I couldn't just put my old SD card into the new Switch and then all the games are there because it has to reformat and it deletes all the games. So unfortunately, it's super annoying. But you could just delete everything and then re-download it. You will lose your screenshots though. So
Yeah, that's it's a huge bummer. I had a friend who just bought the Tears of the Kingdom OLED Switch as well, and he's a huge Pokemon fan. And it just because he was excited to play his new OLED, he took the SD card out and put it in the new Switch, and everything downloaded fine through cloud saves, except for Pokemon because there are no cloud saves.
you
And
know you could get the save.
what do you mean?
You could get the save. Does he
You
still
can
have
get
his Does he still have his old Switch?
yeah,
Just manually transfer it.
but I don't know. I'll have to talk to him again because it sounded like he couldn't even get Pokemon on his original Switch because it was on the SD card, and
That's
then
not how it
he's
works.
all right. Well, I don't know. I'll
So
have him
so
talk to you
here
then.
I'll walk you through it real quick. The way it
Okay.
works is as long as you have the other Switch and you didn't factory reset it. If he factory reset it, then he's out of luck probably. But if you have the other Switch, all you have to do is go to the transfer saves to another console, choose the Pokemon save, make sure both Switches are like right next to each other, have one receive and one send. It's easy. Did you not watch my video? That's
No, I
one
don't
of the
watch any.
options. That's one of
Why
the.
would I watch the stuff that you put out?
I tried to tell you, you didn't answer my DM. I told you. Like he could get the saves.
Yeah, no, I didn't care. But I mean, I do care to help out my friend. I just, if anybody else has the advice, you can DM me. Um, Nightcrawler724, who you probably know as Crawler from the Nintendo Powercast, said, I have moved mostly digital on both Xbox and PlayStation. It makes it easy across the generation upgrade, and physical doesn't save me any space on my hard drive. Switch, I'm mostly physical while double dipping on some titles for ease of digital game sharing on the kids' Switch. Internet infrastructure needs to improve, and storage and digital compression needs to get better. Jedi Survivor is like 150 gigabytes. That takes up so much of the available 1 terabyte on the internal hard drive, which isn't even that big after the OS is installed. Digital still has some room to grow. Preservation is a worry that you don't own your games, just like we don't own our movies, and they can disappear anytime on the streaming platforms. I think the future to make it easier to accept not owning your games is the Game Pass model. I think he's on the right path. Like, if you're wanting to move people in the direction of digital, you have to do it in baby steps. And we talked about it last week. It does seem like Nintendo is going in that direction, and there's reasons why you should download digitally. You get some points that you can use for your My Nintendo rewards. And you also have the vouchers. We talked about those. So it seems like the next console is probably going to have a digital maybe it's not all digital, but they will have just like a digital version.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. To his point, everybody's saying preservation.
And you don't think that it's a big deal? That is crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those talking points that people pretend to care about.
Yeah, we'll definitely save this for another episode.
So, I mean, he mentions Jedi Survivor being 150 gigs. I mean, it would be 150 gigs if it was on a disc anyway, which is that's the one thing about PlayStation and Xbox is it doesn't matter if you get digital or physical, you're still using up all that space. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
And
you
I think,
seem like you were gonna say more. Are you?
Oh no. I mean, no. And then also like the Game Pass model. I love Game Pass. I know people don't. I know there's a lot of people saying that it's just renting games and you don't actually own them. But Game Pass is like Netflix. I think Netflix is a good example where you have access to this big library of content and you can play whatever you want. But yeah, they could go away. But the main, like all of the main Microsoft games will stay there. And if they just have, a model where where all the games just stay there forever, which I don't know if that's possible, then yeah, why not do that? And also, I think Game Pass has like 25 million subscribers right now or something.
You said if they'll stay there forever, but I just don't even think that that's like something that you can guarantee.
Yeah, well, I think they guarantee the Microsoft Studio ones will be there forever.
Oh, sure. Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, all right, here we go. We're going to get deep again. You can't guarantee anything will be around forever. That your physical game collection could just spontaneously go up in flames.
Just like at random?
Yeah, it's at random.
Is this something I should be concerned about?
Do you have a Samsung phone?
I had one at one point.
Those were exploding, weren't they?
They were, yeah.
But no, I mean, anything could happen. Nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, because I think about like the HBO Max shows that were for the streaming platform, and now those are just gone.
Well, it's not even HBO Max anymore, is it?
It's Max now. Max. It's so dumb. Yeah. Just take HBO out of the name that has like the most recognition behind it,
Well, I
and
mean,
just call it Max.
I think that's Crawler's point, that if you do something like a subscription service like HBO Max, you won't feel as shafted when they take something away.
Yeah,
Like you didn't pay for that specific show.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, like from like a hard working developer standpoint, all the people that were part of the part of the project, it
They
is a
got
bummer
paid, didn't
still.
they? They got paid, right?
I don't actually know. I mean, that's kind of like what the writer strike is all about right now.
Well, writers aren't getting paid,
Yeah, I can
and they're
imagine.
striking because they're not getting paid for streaming
Yeah,
residuals. So I
yeah,
understand why they're striking, and it makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
But they did get paid.
Not enough, but yes, you're right. They got paid something. But how would you feel if you were to like put in all this hard work into a game that you cared about so much, and it's your baby, and you finally put it out there, and then it's just taken down and nobody gets to experience years of your heart and soul that you put into the game?
I mean, I guess it would depend on if it was just a job for me.
Hmm.
Like if I do taxes for a living. If
Yeah.
a tax
If
return were
taxes went away.
if a tax return were just not to go out or something, I wouldn't care. I got paid.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think it all depends. It all depends.
All right. We got Mikey that said physical, though I don't mind digital. I mean, that's I think kind of how I feel as well. Um, Toxtra says physical because I can trade, sell, or share my games. I also use GameFly to play most games, so physical is my way to go.
GameFly exists still?
I had no idea that GameFly was
Is
still around.
is it
Is it?
rental? Is it still? Is it like it was like? uh, You pay, I don't know what it is, a month, but you get like one or two games at a time.
I Yeah, because it was like the Netflix model, right? Where they were
Yeah.
sending you DVDs through the mail, which they just announced they're not doing anymore. And I was like, they were still doing that?
Who still has
So
that plan? But
they don't
yeah,
anymore.
when I saw somebody mentioned GameFly, I'm like, what? GameFly still
Hmm.
exists? I remember
Yeah.
those commercials.
Yeah, on G4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I never. Did you ever like get games from GameFly?
No, no,
It seemed like a good model.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a Netflix model, so it's like the Game Pass. It's the Game Pass before Game Pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know
And
you could buy games from it.
oh, I didn't know that. Is that like through a subscription service, like through digital, like a digital service?
No, it's like you could buy a physical game. I think they're
Oh.
like used copies or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay. Huh. Yeah, I might have to do some more research on GameFly and like how they've been able to stick around for so long and where their
They
advertising
must
is.
have
Where's
they
their
must have
advertising?
something. Yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy. Um, and then Shy Guy had a couple of like images that they made into notes, which I can read if you want, because I don't know if do you have those pulled up?
I do not have those pulled up.
All right. So Shy Guy said, for me, convenience is key. With digital, I can carry a huge portion of my library with me on Switch. I can have the game loaded on my Lite and OLED at the same time. A nice bonus is gold coins are given at a 5% rate for digital on the Switch eShop versus 1% for physical. eShop cards uh, are easily had for 10% off. Many indies are digital only, and those that get a physical release are significantly more expensive with much later release dates. My issue with physical games on Switch and having kids and their friends/cousins over is how easily lost those cartridges are. We've lost over $300 in games over the years. I've lost $0 in digital games so far. Nearly any physical game isn't truly physical these days. There are still patches and updates needed on PS5 and Xbox, and the disc is just a key anyway. Is a functional physical collection even possible these days? In defense of physical gaming, in defense of physical, game sharing is much easier. You can resell physical games you are finished with. Physical allows for renting GameFly and
He says
borrowing.
GameFly too?
Yeah, it's GameFly in parentheses. And borrowing from libraries. I understand wanting access to your games forever, but if 10 years from now my biggest problem is that I can't play an old video game, then I'm doing pretty good. Being able to game for a hobby is a massive luxury anyway. Very true. Truly, coexist is best. Keep giving consumers choices. There is no one size fits all here. Instead of digital or physical, how about digital and physical? I think that was the best way to end community patch notes. Because give people what they want. And as far as renting on GameFly, again, we're gonna have to. Is GameFly worth it? We'll do like an episode on that.
I have it pulled up. I don't even know how to sign up for this.
Are you gonna sign up for it?
No. I'm just seeing. Let's see. But now I'm intrigued.
The gaming is a massive luxury. It's so true. And I do think about it a lot. Like people are talking about like, is Tears of the Kingdom a $70 game? I don't know. I think video games should cost a lot more. Not that I want them to, but just with everything that is being put into gaming and the development of gaming, it should be a lot more than what we're paying. Because it's an art form. It's a piece of art. And
yeah, I'll give more money to the multi-billion-dollar corporations. Eggs aren't $10 a carton.
No, I'm not saying that I want them.
If the money went directly to the developers, I could see it. But it's going to these multi-billion-dollar parent companies. Yeah.
That's one of the things I'm really excited about this podcast is I have a lot to learn. I'm not gonna try to prove myself and say like, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, because there's probably some things that I don't. But I think there's always room to grow, and you shouldn't be afraid to learn something new or ask questions, or like that's how we actually do come together. And maybe there won't be so many arguments online and so many
communication errors. Oh my god.
Oh, there it is. Ding ding ding.
We'll get it. This is episode 2.
Yeah. But yeah, I think hopefully if there's anything that you can take away from this podcast, this episode, it's just be curious and ask questions and see where other people
not judgmental. It's Ted Lasso.
Oh, there you go. Believe. Also, Ted Lasso. Johnny, do you have any closing statements?
No, this is really fun. I am excited that we decided to get the community involved, and we're going to do this hopefully for every topic. Did we decide what our next topic will be?
I don't know if we did. We have a list though, so we can go through them and choose which one. But yeah, it'll be a surprise. Come back, see what the episode is.
Subscribe, like, comment, review. Look for the Discord eventually.
And the Patreon. If there's things that you want to see in Patreon, let us know.
Yes.
Like different tiers. This was our first episode of Community Patch Notes. And I think, we still have things that we need to work on. to make it better. But at the same time, I'm so happy to be doing this podcast, even if it is with John Evo. It's gonna be a fun journey.
Yeah, no, this is a good one. I think it was a good start, and I'm ready for the next one. Next week will be a day late, so sorry. Well, not sorry. Blame Cheesy.
I'll be a day late.
I thought we were recording on Tuesday.
Well, yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you want to see something different with community patch notes, or you have ideas for community patch notes, just to get the community more involved, let us know.
Peace out.